Buckle up, buckaroos. It is time to take a very healthy news dump, and we're jumping right in because it really seems like a lot of the major players from the Trump administration are on their way out. Recently, we spoke about how FBI Director Kash Patel is on the chopping block for turning the agency into a, quote, rudderless ship because of his insecurities and lack of experience. Who could have seen this coming? The telltale signs were always there.
I'm shocked, personally.
And that also includes the recent criticism of Kash Patel's use of a government jet to go on dates with his 27-year-old girlfriend.
She's more of a fucking patriot than you will ever be.
That's right.
In this lifetime or 10 more lifetimes. Because I'm Kash Patel, and I might act like I'm into Valhalla and Christianity, but I am Hindu, actually.
Yeah.
So.
Well, we've also spoken about the fallout from Pete Hegseth's orders to kill them all in regards to suspected drug traffickers in the Caribbean Sea, orders that seem to amount to a war crime. And we'll get to that story in a second. There are updates. It has quickly developed into one of the biggest scandals of this administration so far, which is saying a lot. But first, it might also be time to say bye-bye to one of the most pathetic members of the Goon Squad. A man willing to do or say anything in order to please his boss. And a man who is so tempted by the very allure of pornography that he and his son monitor each other's usage.
Very normal.
That man, Mike Johnson, has apparently lost the faith of his fellow members of Congress, and some are now speaking out as we enter into a pivotal election year.
Republicans in the House?
Fighting with each other?
Not liking their leader
yeah.
in the House? What? No!
Somewhere,
no!
Kevin McCarthy's getting a real kick out of this.
Popping popcorn.
Miss me yet?
Kevin McCarthy, John Boehner, Paul Ryan. It is just the most thankless fucking job on earth. It did seem for a long time like Mike Johnson's just the type of freak to really kind of get off on how much the job sucks.
The problem is nobody is freaky enough to ride down the Trump train the entire way.
Yeah, it's untenable. So there have been verified Mike Johnson haters on the Hill for as long as Mike Johnson has been on the Hill. But he's made more than a few enemies this year. Obviously, there's Marjorie Taylor Greene, whose criticism of Johnson has intensified in recent months as he attempted to stall progress on the release of those Epstein files. She's on her way out, though.
Yeah.
But then there's also numerous Republican officials who were critical of him for his role in the government shutdown, the longest in history. Another Republican from Florida recently sidestepped Johnson by filing a petition that would force a vote on stock trading ban without needing his approval.
And apparently
he was stalling the hell out of that one. Weird.
Apparently there have been more petitions that sidestep his authority in just the past couple of months than there had been in the prior 3 years or so.
Yeah, it's interesting because like the few good things Republicans want to do, he won't let them do it. And then the truly evil things they want to do, he also can't let them do it because like we can't let the mask and the veil slip too much.
Instead,
because we do have an election coming up.
You get nothing and less health care.
Yeah, obviously less healthcare. And yeah, just this week, New York Republican Congresswoman Elise Stefanik, a Trump ally and member of Johnson's leadership team, publicly blasted the speaker and accused him of being an ineffective leader and a liar who is working on behalf of the deep state.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah.
The social media posts from Stefanik are a rambling mess, begging for a character limit. Please.
Bring back 180 or 240.
Please limit these characters. We have too many characters.
That's right.
So we're not going to read all this slop, but here's a bit of what this Republican congresswoman and New York State gubernatorial candidate had to say about House Speaker Johnson.
Republicans have the House, Senate, and the White House. Yet the deep state is alive and well with the speaker getting rolled by House Dems attempting to block my provision to require congressional disclosure when the FBI opens counterintelligence investigations into presidential and federal candidates seeking office. We wouldn't want the FBI looking into the backgrounds of anyone running to hold power in the country, would we?
No, that's none of their goddamn business, I tell you what.
She later provided an update saying, I just walked out of a briefing on this issue this morning, confirming everything I posted yesterday. That yes, in fact, the speaker is blocking my provision to root out the illegal weaponization that led to Crossfire Hurricane, Arctic Frost, and more. Those sound like Baja Blast, Mountain Dew flavors.
Sound like delicious drinks.
That's the new lineup at Taco Bell.
Yeah.
And also, apparently, some things that happened behind the scenes here.
Faded off those Crossfire Hurricanes.
He is siding with Jamie Raskin against Trump Republicans to block this provision to protect the deep state.
I love it. Like, that's the only thing they can turn to right now to blame the fact that they control everything and
It
still
must be this
can't get what they
secret
want.
deep state.
Because what they want is not like a coherent thing.
No.
So it's just like, well, the reason we're not living in that picture of utopia, the futuristic utopia.
Mike Johnson's standing in the way.
It's the deep state, guys. Folks, it's the deep state. You don't even know how deep this deep state goes.
That's right. Now, Johnson responded to this like he does to every question every day. He said he has no idea what anyone's talking about. I have no idea what is going on. Why is anyone even asking me questions?
I wake up in the morning. I stare at the wall for 15, 20 minutes. I eat my cornflakes. Cornflakes with no sugar.
Any amount of sugar might lead me to masturbate.
And then I get in the car and I completely black out for the whatever amount of time it takes to get to the Capitol. I don't know because I'm unconscious during that time. Yeah. I get out of the car and I zone out again, and somehow I'm inside the Capitol.
Before you know it, I'm home.
And all these people are asking me questions about things I'm hearing about for the first time.
Things that would potentially get me into a lot of trouble if I did know about them.
Listen, here's the thing about thinking. You start thinking about all this stuff you people are asking about, and then you're thinking about pornography.
Exactly.
And I can't do that.
It's a slippery slope.
My son will catch me looking at pornography, and I'll be mortified by that, and kind of turned on, but mostly mortified.
Yeah.
So that's why this head of mine, this Mike Johnson head of mine, is just empty, devoid of thoughts, tabula rasa.
Very convenient for me and everyone else.
It is, and that's why I'm such a good leader. I don't exactly know why Elise just won't call me, he said, recalling that he told his colleague over text, "What are you talking about? This hasn't even made it to my level." Stefanik followed these statements up in an interview with the Wall Street Journal, where she said, "Johnson is an ineffective leader who is losing control of the Republican Party. He certainly wouldn't have the votes to be speaker if there was a roll call vote tomorrow," said Stefanik, a close ally to President Donald Trump. "I believe that the majority of Republicans would vote for new leaders." Yeah, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Oh, what?
Surprising.
What? Holy, this
I'm
never
surprised.
happened before. I believe the majority of Republicans would vote for new leadership. It's that widespread.
There's always just some little problem that's in the way, and they've got to get rid of it. And once they're done voting that out of the way, then it's on to the next thing. And then it's the immigrants again.
These are perpetually unhappy people.
Well, yeah.
The one solace you can take in the hell we currently live in is that none of the people inflicting this hell upon us are enjoying a single fucking second of it. They're as miserable as everyone else.
They're enjoying the pain that they're inflicting on others, but they're miserable at their own lives. And this is the little bit of joy that they get, the little tiny bit of power and everything else.
But yeah, both Johnson and Kash Patel are breathing slightly easier this week because one man in particular has shot straight to the top of the shit list, and that man is Pete Kegsbreath. Because he's alcoholic.
That's true. Every day that passes brings new excuses, new admissions, new finger pointing, and gruesome, awful details about the alleged war crimes that almost certainly seem to have been committed by, shockingly, the guy who calls himself the Secretary of War.
No, I don't think so. He let that admiral or whatever, hey, do whatever you want. Don't tell me about it.
Now,
I'll let you take this one.
Let's make things interesting, because I'd bet good money that Hegseth has also privately lobbied to change the title from Secretary. Because
a little bit gay.
Yeah, you might want to turn that into something more manly. Commander of War.
Yeah.
Beast of War. Place your bets in the comment section below, because after all, why shouldn't we all get in on the action?
Yeah, a secretary is a woman at your office who you sexually harass. I am not a secretary.
The Commander of War.
I'm the Warrior of War.
We'll see what Kalshi thinks about this and then check back.
Yeah, we'll put the Kalshi up on
put the odds up. Now, in case you haven't been following along with the Pete Hegseth war crime scandal, it involves the strikes on alleged drug trafficking boats in the Caribbean Sea that originate from Venezuela. More specifically, the first strike on a boat that was carrying 11 people. It was revealed that 2 of the people on board that boat survived the initial blast, and they were fired upon again after an admiral followed Pete Hegseth's orders to, quote, kill them all. Now, initially, the response to this report was for everyone to just puff their chest and act really tough about it.
That's just war. You wouldn't understand.
And that
air-conditioned offices.
And that included Hegseth's own post of that AI-created children's book where Franklin the Turtle is killing people from a helicopter. But the narrative started to change a little bit when, I guess, everyone realized that, people actually don't like that we've performed multiple extrajudicial killings, and one in particular involved double tapping the survivors.
Yeah, people find it distasteful at best.
Yeah.
Turns out not super into that.
And they definitely weren't into when I responded with posting Franklin the Turtle murdering people.
They found that distasteful as well.
Including the company that owns the rights to Franklin the Turtle.
And then when you tell them to shut up because I had to do it, my life was in danger, they start asking questions like, wait, you were thousands of miles away, and this was just a boat in the middle of the fucking ocean.
Yeah.
What are you talking about? But they wouldn't understand. They don't have the warrior mindset.
That's right.
That Pete Hegseth has.
He did cite, we get to it, but he cites that the real reason this all went to shit was because of that elusive fog of war.
I mean, fog of war is a term that does not describe this situation, I don't think. This was a lone, small boat in the middle of the ocean.
Because the way
being shot at from, like, a god's eye view.
Yeah.
So I don't know what possible fog there could be.
The way he describes the fog of war, which is like, the confusion in the midst of battle or whatever, is that like there was actual smoke and fire, so they couldn't see anything.
Yeah, I mean, the term... I'm not sure when the term was coined, but it was like used a lot during Vietnam, which was a war fought in jungles where visibility and getting your bearings was like especially difficult.
This was on the sea, and it was a very tiny boat.
This is a drone strike on a fucking fishing boat. Where's the fog?
Yeah.
So Trump was quick to distance himself from this decision entirely, while also adding that, well, personally, he wouldn't have ordered a second strike on the survivors.
I want to be very clear about that.
Wouldn't be me. In a White House briefing, Carolyn Leavitt claimed that everything was very legal and very cool, but that, actually, if you want to know, it was not the president, and it wasn't the Secretary of War who made that decision. It was actually, Admiral Frank Bradley.
Yeah, that guy.
That guy. Almost immediately after Leavitt made this carefully crafted statement, Hegseth shoved Admiral Bradley further into the spotlight.
Get out there.
Congrats, buddy. You made it.
We all love you very much.
Shoved him out on stage, live at the Apollo, further attempting to shield himself, obviously, saying, Admiral Mitch Bradley is an American hero, a true professional, and has my 100% support. I stand by him and the combat decisions he has made on the September 2nd mission and all others since. That guy. Not me.
I stand behind him. Next to, but really kind of behind.
I stand with him, several feet away from him.
God view away.
A safe distance.
Enough to where you could see the entire ocean around him.
I stand with him the way that drone stood with that boat in the middle of the sea.
Whew.
Anyway, then, when this issue did not go away, they started making wild excuses, like that each boat is responsible for the death of 25,000 Americans.
Sure.
Or that they needed to blow up the boat a second time because the wreckage became a navigational hazard. Or, if you could believe it, that they had to kill the people who survived getting their boat blown up because they were frantically trying to flip the boat and reload it with all those drugs that were blown everywhere.
That's exactly what would happen.
I had to do it.
Yeah.
All while communicating with a larger drug ship to come and pick them up after getting hit by a missile. You don't understand how deep this shit goes.
Yeah, this is as
the
Hegseth
drug
says
armada they've got out there.
As Hegseth puts it, this is Tren de Aragua, and when your boat gets blown up with 11 other people, the first thing you do is you start reconstructing that boat in the open water and finding every bale of drugs and reloading the previously blown apart boat while you are, I would assume, suffering from some serious trauma.
When I'm out in the middle
physical and mental.
When I'm out in the middle of the fucking ocean and all of a sudden everyone around me has been turned to fucking pink mist, I'm immediately just like,
time to get to work.
Time to get to work. This is where my time to shine.
Yeah.
Under pressure.
Time for me to become a immediate security risk to the entire nation of the United States.
Yep.
Here I go. So sure. And if that's true, then I guess it's also true that the larger drug ship would just immediately go to that location where a boat was just
wouldn't
blown
you
up,
want that to happen?
and to make sure that they pick up that relatively small amount of drugs and 2 surviving members.
If there was a drug mothership, I feel like you'd want, that'd be a great plan to lure it out to the smaller drug ship. But I guess they weren't thinking that far ahead.
I guess the United States actually was in imminent danger. I guess those guys needed to die.
If a wind had picked up and those fentanyl dust particles
It wasn't even fentanyl.
had been caught in that wind,
Yeah.
it could have taken out just entire states of the United States if that dust had made it on shore here in this country.
Almost certainly, I do want to cover my bases. It wasn't fentanyl. It was cocaine bound for Europe, is what like a lot of the reports are saying.
In a boat?
Well,
In a little tiny boat?
well, they get it out of the Caribbean first, and then they transport it. But almost certainly cocaine, and almost certainly not coming to the United States.
Well,
but even if it were, again, we have to say this every episode. That doesn't mean that you can just blow their fucking boat up.
No, of course not. This whole thing is so fucking out of pocket.
This is all alleged.
Yeah, no, this is you don't get to do that. Sorry.
But even with all of these excuses, Hegseth, apparently he sees the writing on the wall and has continued to distance himself from this. And keep in mind,
this Bradley fellow, Bradley, give him a 360.
A week ago, he was posting cartoons about blowing people up and saying how cool it was.
Yeah. Well, in this cartoon, I wasn't Franklin the Turtle. It was actually Admiral Bradley over here.
And I support him 100%.
A really cool guy.
Yes.
Who came up with the whole idea on his own.
And we thank him for it.
Yep.
So now Hegseth's saying that he wasn't even there for the second strike for the live stream of it.
I was drinking.
That's probably true. He said he was too busy, but maybe he said time to celebrate.
Yeah. It was beer o'clock somewhere.
Yeah. He says that he was there for the first strike, so he monitored that, and then he said, all right, gotta go. Don't do anything I wouldn't do, and I definitely
Lock up when you're done.
Don't do anything I wouldn't do, and I definitely wouldn't not do a follow-on strike on any survivors out there. See ya. Hegseth, who on September 3rd said he watched the operation live, stated Tuesday that he witnessed the first strike, but left the room ahead of the second attack for another meeting, only learning about it an hour or two later.
How convenient.
Yeah. Hey, what happened with, you know how that wreckage was just floating there in the middle of the ocean? What happened with that? Well, sir, you're going to love this. Actually, you're going to hate it. You know how many you told me to kill everyone? Well, I did, but this is going to make you look real bad.
I don't think it even occurred to Pete Hegseth for quite a while that any of this could even possibly be interpreted as illegal.
Nope, because he was gloating about it in the immediate aftermath. He also offered another excuse, noting that the fire and smoke made it so, quote, you can't see anything, like the survivors waiting around in the open water, which is just another insane excuse.
They have thermal cameras. You're also looking at it. Come on.
Yeah.
Oh my God, they're getting away.
Where are they going?
Shut up. God damn it.
They should be legitimately, the humane thing to do would be to rescue them, which is what the protocol changed to after this, which also implies the guilt in the first scenario.
Huh.
But anyways, in the case that, I don't know, there was too much smoke and debris, we couldn't see anything. I guess you should just definitely blast a boat that fits only 11 people again, because all that fire and smoke is making it really hard to tell if we really got them the first time.
Yeah.
So yeah, this is also hard to believe because of just how sure Hegseth was of the operation when it initially played out, appearing on Fox and Friends the day after and saying this.
I watched it live. We knew exactly who was in that boat. We knew exactly what they were doing, and we knew exactly who they represented.
Well, that wasn't the only scandal that Hegseth was dealing with, though, because this week he was also facing pressure for his use of Signal to discuss military engagements, which was only discovered after Hegseth had inadvertently invited a journalist into his top secret chat room.
Oops.
This is the one thing we didn't want to happen. The Pentagon's own watchdog group completed its review of Signalgate and found that, Hegseth could have endangered the safety of U.S. troops with his careless disregard for security measures. The report concluded that Hegseth sent sensitive, non-public operational information over the Signal chat on his personal cell phone. That goes against long-standing rules at the Pentagon about using personal devices and commercial apps, including Signal, for official work. And again, the Signal stuff, it seems so tame now that it looks like Hegseth has been accused of violating the Geneva Convention while running his Department of War Crimes.
Yeah, it seems so quaint in retrospect.
I mean, we all knew it was going to escalate. We're not even a year into this.
That's true.
Which is horrible to think about.
Well, yeah.
I'm going to be so goddamn old when we're finally rid of these people.
Yeah. Oof.
It's like my whole fucking life.
The Donald Trump era.
Like, I got literally all 4 years of high school, George W. Bush. All 4 years of college, George W. Bush. I got 8 years of Obama during the worst period of my life, right after college.
Yeah, like if just financial despair.
Yeah.
And yeah.
Didn't even get to enjoy it. and then it's just Trump, and then Sleepy Joe and Trump again.
The downfall of America.
My life is a mess.
But look, what if war crimes were good for business?
Oh.
Well, hold on.
Can I bet on these war crimes? On a prediction market?
Oh, maybe. Well, if war crimes were good for business, then they couldn't possibly be illegal because nothing that creates profit can be bad.
That's right.
And that's apparently what the CEO of Palantir thinks.
Oh, this guy. Alex Karp?
Yeah, which should tell you
freak show, this guy.
all that you need to know about that company, including the directorate or the directive by its founder, Peter Thiel. So Alex Karp recently spoke at a summit where he was asked about the unconstitutionality of those boat strikes. And here's his response via Gizmodo. Part of the reason why I like this questioning is the more constitutional you want to make it, the more precise you want to make it, the more you're going to need my product, Karp said.
How convenient.
His reasoning is that if it's constitutional, you would have to make 100% sure of the exact conditions it's happening in. And in order to do that, the military would have to use Palantir's technology, for which it pays roughly $10 billion under its current contract. So you keep pushing on making it constitutional. I'm totally supportive of that, Karp said.
Is Palantir is it like a lawyer bot? I don't understand what he's even trying to say.
Yeah, it's like a data analytics company, or it portends
Supposedly
to be.
it
So
is.
I think the only thing that they could contribute would be, you would think that they would have the confidence to know that there are two surviving and struggling human beings in the water next to a bunch of wreckage, and maybe they shouldn't fire on it. But to me, that would be the extent of what Palantir could do.
I don't think they have a product that can do that.
I believe
don't think they do.
The actual real world scenario for what I would assume Palantir would use for this is that they would have the information technology that would lead to more accurate targeting of real drug kingpins and traffickers. But that's all just making up marketing talk. That's what they say to sell their product. I'm just assuming that's what, because otherwise, I mean, this whole product is set up to be like the Eye of Sauron.
Yeah.
That's the whole thing. See all, know all. So it's bad right from the jump. But they add in that in August, ICE announced that Palantir would build a $30 million surveillance program called Immigration OS to aid the agency's mass deportation efforts, around the same time that an Amnesty International report claimed that Palantir's AI was being used by the Department of Homeland Security to target non-citizens that speak out in favor of Palestinian rights. So, yeah, everyone's social credit's going down. We're all screwed. But it's good to know that the CEO of Palantir wants to make sure that
Well, he's
war
getting
crimes
paid,
are being constitutional.
I'm happy for him. A win.
This is great for his business. Yeah.
What's good for Alex Karp is good for the gander.
That's right.
I'm the gander. So I guess there really is someone who would honestly answer the question: what's your favorite war crime?
And that man is Alex Karp.
Whichever one gets me paid.
I guess so.
But while members of the Trump administration seem to be walking on thin ice, others are clearly overcompensating with their embarrassingly stupid praise of Trump as some sort of godlike figure who controls reality itself. Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem tried her best to keep Trump from falling asleep during a recent cabinet meeting when she praised him for stealing Joe Biden's weather machine and keeping Americans safe from hurricanes this season.
Sir, you made it through hurricane season without a hurricane. Yeah. And so FEMA, you kept the hurricanes away. So.
Huh.
Cool.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. It seems like lulling people into a false sense of security is probably a bad idea because there will be hurricanes.
No, nope. He did it this year, and next year he's going to get out there and he's going to blow all the hurricanes away again.
Like, it's going to happen.
Uh-huh.
Maybe even worse.
Could be.
They do all keep getting worse.
That's right.
Everything is getting worse. We got Santa Ana winds coming in here this weekend.
Uh-oh.
According to Frankie McDonald. I have not seen
Well,
it.
then I believe it.
Yeah, that's all the conversation.
I'll be in
I need.
Sacramento running the California International Marathon. If anyone is in the Sacramento area and wants to see me awkwardly run by for a brief second and go, hey, and I go, hey, I'll be out there running that marathon. Someone did that at the LA Marathon. They're like, rookie. And I was just like, I literally can't stop. This is a race.
I'm racing.
But I really appreciate you saying hi.
Yeah.
Anyways, we're going to leave the politics for now because it is time to officially celebrate the death of the metaverse. So you said it was all bad news, but this is some good news, I think.
R.I.P. bitch.
Yeah. It's the death of the metaverse, or, Mark Zuckerberg's dystopian vision of what the metaverse was supposed to be. But that metaverse was so poorly received that even members of its own dev team didn't want to play it. So it was doomed. Hopefully everyone that was working on it saw the writing on the wall, because Zuckerberg has announced that Meta will be slashing the budgets for their metaverse project, despite it being the entire basis of their company's rebranding.
Are they going to change the name again?
Nope. That stands for AI now.
Okay.
Here's Bloomberg.
Executives are considering potential budget cuts as high as 30% for the Metaverse Group next year, which includes the virtual worlds product Meta Horizon Worlds and its Quest virtual reality unit, according to people familiar with the talks, who asked not to be named while discussing private company plans. Meta confirmed a reduction in resources for the metaverse and said savings are expected to funnel toward other futuristic projects within Meta's Reality Labs division, including AI glasses and other wearables. They add that Meta's vision for the metaverse has not taken off despite Zuckerberg's conviction, which he still has, that people will, one day, work and play in virtual worlds. Damn it. The Metaverse Group has lost more than $70 billion to Jesus Christ. Oh my God. Yeah. The Metaverse Group has lost more than $70 billion since the start of 2021. Hey, we all make bad bets sometimes.
Imagine what you could do with $70 billion for the real world.
Oh my God. Zuckerberg has largely stopped mentioning the metaverse in public and on company earnings calls and is instead focused on developing the large AI models that underpin AI chatbots and other generative AI products, as well as the hardware products that are more linked to those experiences, like Meta's Ray-Ban smart display glasses.
Yes, we're making drastic cuts to our poop department and rerouting those funds to better serve our shit and feces development in the crap sector. Meta stock
we're changing our name to Poop. Stock ticker POOP.
Yep. And it's doing numbers.
Poop Tech.
Now, speaking of AI, you know what? It might actually be over. Reality might be completely fucked. As of December, we have crossed the threshold of believing what we see online thanks to Google's reckless deployment of their NanoBanaNa image generation service, which has made such a giant leap in progress that it is nearly impossible to tell whether or not something is real. Even for trained eyes, it's getting bad out there.
Yeah, what function, what purpose does this serve other than telling lies?
Yeah. I mean, I've already seen my Instagram feed flooded with certain styles of images.
Get it out.
A lot of it are like these it seems to be a pretty common prompt right now, is the behind the scenes images that claim to show how historic photos were made or like old films. It's like, no, this is completely fake.
They're poisoning history.
A lot of the ones that I see are infographics now and flyers. And those I can tell right off the fucking bat that it's AI. And I feel bad because there's like a lot of like local indie places that are using it. Yeah. And just like, it sucks to see this. You could definitely hire someone, but like, it's just frustrating. Especially when it's an infographic. You're like, it's subtle enough that, yeah.
Infographics are over though. That's very 2013.
Well, they're coming back, baby, because this one in particular really loves making them. Yes, this image generation has gotten to the point where the telltale signs are gone for all but the most eagle-eyed sleuths.
Yeah, it's more like context clues now rather than image quality.
And experts, because there's a bunch, like a lot, specifically with behind-the-scenes stuff, there are cinematographers who have gone on Instagram and be like, okay, let me tell you what's wrong with this here. First of all, this looks totally believable. The camera's pointing the wrong direction. This is not the type of camera you would use for this. Yeah. This product over here is wrong.
That's what I mean with like context.
You have to be like a knowledgeable of the space to understand that it's fake now.
Yeah.
But seeing where we're at now, with how much money this is wasting, I have personally become convinced that this was an arms race to launch this stuff before all the Epstein stuff went public, so that everyone involved could claim that it was all faked. Because I feel like all of this tech is like a year too late.
I mean, it would have changed things.
And how it's, to me, how crazy how rapid it all was.
Yeah.
And I know that just kind of happens with the way that technology evolves, but like specifically with the way that they're making things look imperfect and vintage with these latest models, it just rubs me the wrong way. It seems very suspicious for very powerful people. Now, obviously, there are countless ways that this AI in particular could be abused, but knowing that in the very near future, you'll never be able to trust what you see, it's been bothering the shit out of me lately.
It's been bothering me for a couple of years now. It was like back when this shit sucked.
Yeah.
That was like, I'm like, once this doesn't suck, this is gonna destroy reality.
Yeah.
Consensus reality will be fucking gone.
And luckily, it's not just us. Although, God, NPR lately and all the mainstream news stuff, but specifically NPR is what pissed me off the most. They glaze AI shit all day long. And it sucks that they had their funding removed by the Trump administration because this does smell of desperation.
Yeah, I mean, they're almost certainly sponsored by some people who have a lot of money in AI.
Oh yeah,
so
but they're always
I don't
having
know.
AI guests on and talking about like how cool it is. It's just a bummer to hear coming out of them.
Yeah.
But even this, we're going to quote from a CNET article. They are, obviously aware of the problems that this has, but in the meantime, they're like, look how good it works.
I mean, didn't CNET? They
were one of the first to say
were
we're
like
going to start doing AI articles.
Yeah, they were an early adopter of it, and I remember it didn't go so well.
No, it never does. But here's CNET with their take.
Our testing revealed how easy it is to create ultra-realistic images and infographics with wrong information. The Gemini-made images lacked many of the most common errors in AI-generated images, which is good for creators. Yet it also means that anyone who comes across the Gemini-created images online will have a harder time deciphering if they're real or AI. Google removes the sparkle-shaped watermark from some images, which doesn't help. The biggest leap forward is NanoBanana Pro's ability to create legible text. AI creative models have long struggled with this. We used to be able to point to mangled text as obvious signs that a photo or video was AI generated, but NanoBanana Pro is one of the most competent models I've ever tested, and it easily handles integrating clear text into imagery. It's scarily good. When images like the ones created with NanoBanana Pro look convincing, we're not going to be automatically suspicious of their origins. That's a problem, especially with information-heavy designs like infographics. It doesn't matter that Gemini can create legible text if the information is wrong. And when we're idly scrolling through our social media feeds, we don't always scrutinize the posts we see or read the fine print to see if the headlines check out. It sets the stage for a lot of confusion, chaos, and misinformation.
Yeah, I think that's putting it
Yeah.
lightly. Also,
Who could have predicted this?
I would say that naming it NanoBanana Pro is...
They're dabbing on us.
Well, it's like putting the eyeballs on those delivery robots.
Yeah.
They're making it seem cute to the point where it couldn't possibly harm anything.
That's true.
Now, meanwhile, in the world of AI slop in video form, it appears that a whole cottage industry of AI slop for babies has sprung up.
Oh, good. Get them started when they're young.
And now kids are being exposed to a bunch of garbage created by people who are pumping out slop for cash all day long, without a care in the world for what your kids are learning. I guess the silver lining here is that it is, so far, not as depraved as Elsa Gate. So far. Here's Bloomberg with more on this. Monique Hinton rubbed her fingers together in one of her recent YouTube videos, signaling to her million-plus followers on the platform that she had a money-making business idea for them.
Good.
She first asked ChatGPT to spit out simple, repetitive children's song lyrics with playful nonsense words like la la, na na, or clap clap, then plugged the results into a separate artificial intelligence video generator. Minutes later, the tool had packaged it all into a colorful, animated reel of smiling children, animals, and shapes jumping in a circle and dancing on a stage surrounded by butterflies, balloons, rainbow swirls, sparkling fireworks, flashing lights, floating musical notes, and falling confetti. Using this technique to churn out lucrative content aimed at 1 to 3-year-olds on YouTube was a way to make hundreds of dollars a day, said Hinton, whose channel promises to help viewers create freedom, prosperity, and purpose in their own life. You only have to do about 5% of the work, she said, because AI did the rest.
Do not let your kids watch YouTube.
No, get them
not.
off.
Get them out of there.
Even YouTube Kids, which is what they're trying to exploit here, and the article goes into detail of like the prompts they're using and stuff. They get a response from a YouTube rep who's just like, well, we'll just deprioritize all the bad content. Great, that makes me feel really good. Thank you. There's someone here speaking on your own platform about how they're marketing AI slop to 1 to 3-year-olds, but I'm sure that everything's gonna be fine.
Y'all gotta just raise your little kids out in the woods. Don't even tell them about like electricity until they're like 5 or 6 years
No
old.
way.
Yeah. Gotta raise your kid in a cave. Don't even let them see the sun until they're mature enough to appreciate it.
That's right.
They're gonna love it. Once they see that sun,
Yeah.
babies don't appreciate a damn thing. But that's why you got to earn it, I guess. Anyway, it continues. Hinton says she understands why parents are concerned. AI should not be used as a shortcut to mass-produce low-quality content. She wrote an email. It can help create more educational visuals, more accurate cultural representation, more diverse characters, and more accessible stories that many families don't always see reflected. She added that creators, parents, and platforms all have a responsibility to help ensure children are seeing appropriate content online. You just talked about how, like, 5%.
Who cares? I don't even check the word.
It's not about quality. This is about quantity, folks.
We're trying to get rich, dumbass.
We're trying to. You barely even have to fucking think
Who gives a fuck about your kids?
But yeah, if you do this, you know, I mean, obviously, like,
Hope someone's looking out for you.
yeah, make sure.
Hey, not my fault.
Make sure it's not bad.
Yeah.
So, what's great is that her quote, "AI should not be used as a shortcut to mass-produce low-quality content," appears below a screenshot of a prompt where she asks the bot to quote, "Give me 20 kids animated song ideas that would put me in the top 5% of earners on YouTube for my brand new channel. Make it for kids ages 1 to 3." So, I mean, obviously there's lots of slop out there, but when she does it, it's
not. No.
It's not slop. It's art and it's for children.
And it's ethical.
Yeah. And it's making children smart. Maybe little baby Einstein you're going to have.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And if the generator pops out too many white kids, you just say diversify.
That's right.
Yeah. Makes it easy.
Enhance.
Also, here's another creator who has zero problem with this. Isabella Kotzias, a YouTube creator who offers business hacks for making money online, posted her own video on how to use AI to copy Cocomelon's financial success. After seamlessly spinning up a vibrant, rhyming video about Noah's Ark, complete with doe-eyed characters and animals resembling those in a Pixar film, she emphasized getting the thumbnail right. Just pick the best one. That's the most bright and eye-catching, she said. You always want to clickbait people on YouTube.
I mean, I don't.
It's wild to just like say this.
I mean, I believe, like, doesn't YouTube actually have like policies specifically about clickbait? I don't know if she realizes that she's using the wrong word here, or maybe
Yeah.
she does, but clickbait means you're tricking someone into watching something, and the thumbnail is not representative of the content.
Well, like, the word has kind of like morphed over the years, but I get what she's coming from. It's just, it's so bizarre to see them talking like this, and be proud of
this
it.
is as a YouTube creator myself, this shit disgusts me. And I find it very, very unethical.
At least the Elsagate people had to rent studio space.
Yeah, they
get camera. They were employing people.
Elsagate was like artisanal compared to this shit.
I know. They were employing probably a dozen people.
Yeah, I mean, obviously they shouldn't have been showing that stuff to kids.
No.
But like, I'm not going to discount the labor that went into
Of course not.
that went into putting all those characters in the same video.
Who could forget the thumbnails with those giant hypodermic needles?
Yeah. Yeah, kids got to learn about needles sometime.
That's right. Anyways, it's not just babies who are falling victim to AI slop. The boomers can't get enough of it either. And this has caused a big problem.
Baby boomers.
That's right, yeah. This has caused a big problem for late night television where they've been forced to compete with increasingly absurd garbage, filling up the feeds of their adult audience. And that leads us to the following image and description. Something that perfectly encapsulates how terrible The Tonight Show has become under Jimmy Fallon. And something that multiple people online have described as the worst sentence they've ever read. The Tonight Show tweets, "What's behind me with Sydney Sweeney? 3 Labubu's doing 6-7 at a McDonald's drive-thru. Smiling, laughing emoji. Hashtag Fallon tonight."
This was Johnny Carson's show. You fucking hack.
Go punch through a window, you alcoholic.
It was supposed to be Conan's show.
Yeah.
You fucking hack. We live in hell.
Give Conan his show back.
I don't think he wants it at this
No,
point.
he doesn't. He's flying out in the world.
He's happy with his travel show and his podcast.
Yeah. Good for him.
Yeah, I think so.
Jimmy Fallon made a wish with the devil. And now he's dancing with the devil. Which is Sydney Sweeney doing the 6-7 dance and a Labubu.
6-7.
She should do that with her boobs. 8-9. Sydney Sweeney doing her boobs like this, doing 6-7.
I mean, with the way her box office returns have been working this year,
She might have to.
she might have to start doing
Hey,
that.
why don't we get Sydney Sweeney up here to do the 6-7 dance for everyone? Give him the full 360.
God.
She likes it, apparently.
Yeah, no, I mean, she clearly is into, to a certain extent, herself being objectified.
Yes.
It's kind of a big part of her whole deal. I don't know. She's a fascinating person, but I think it might be over for her. She has been in...
Much like the Labubu and the
Yeah.
6-7 meme, she might be on the way out.
She's been in just all stinkers this year. Box office poison. Turns out people think she is hot.
Yeah.
She's a great looking gal.
And that's it.
But they're not going to pay money to go see her in a movie. They're going to wait until the specific scenes they want to see from those movies end up on the internet.
What was the old website? Was it Mr. Skin? Is that it? Yeah.
They're gonna wait. They're gonna wait till they get the push notification from the Mr. Skin app that the Sydney Sweeney scenes are available to watch.
Why do you need Sydney Sweeney sex scenes when you can NanoBanaNoBaNoOOOOO anything that you want?
Can you do porn on it?
I don't think so. Anyways, we live in hell, but luckily there is one robot out there that we can trust.
Is there?
And you can trust us giving you this news because it's real. We promise.
Okay.
Despite it seeming like an AI fever dream. The city of Detroit finally has its Robocop statue.
Oh, thank God. It's been so long.
And that is a statue that has been in some form of development for well over a decade.
They had a lot of other stuff going on back then. They had priorities.
And this was one of the first like big Kickstarter things. It was like the Robocop statue and the coolest cooler. They were the big Kickstarter things. And now the 11-foot tall, 3,500-pound statue proudly guards the Eastern Market in Detroit. Here's the Associated Press with more. Even in a snowstorm in the dark, people were driving by to see it, said Jim Toscano, co-owner of the Free Age Film Production Company, where the bronze cast statue now stands bolted near the sidewalk. There was a time when Detroit pushed back on anything pointing to its past reputation as an unsafe city, and the movie, which developed a cult following, spawning 2 sequels and a reboot, didn't help its image. But things have changed. Violent crime has been trending down for years. Homicide numbers have dropped below mid-1960s levels, and city officials offered no objections to the statue's installation, Toscano said. I think there will be a lot more acceptance. Detroit has come a long way. You put in a little nostalgia, and that helps.
Now, the statue campaign appears to have started around 2010 when Detroit Mayor Dave Bing was tagged in a tweet that noted Philadelphia's statue of boxer Rocky Balboa and said Robocop would be a great ambassador for Detroit. Bing tweeted back saying there were no such plans. But some Detroiters ran with the idea, crowdfunding it through a 2012 Kickstarter campaign that raised more than $67,000 from more than 2,700 backers worldwide. And Detroit sculptor Giorgio Gikas finished the statue in 2017. Then it got stuck, stored away from public view. The Michigan Science Center in Detroit ultimately nixed plans to host the sculpture in 2021, citing pressures from the coronavirus pandemic and the need to focus museum resources. The search for a suitable home for Robocop remained in limbo until about 3 years ago when Toscano's company bought a building in Eastern Market, an open-air produce market, shopping, and entertainment district just northeast of downtown. Toscano says he thought they were kidding when he was contacted by the creator of the statue idea and Eastern Market officials, but he and his business partner gladly came on board. It's too unusual, too unique, too cool not to do, Toscano said. On Thursday, James Campbell approached the statue and told 3 picture takers, I owned this. Did you guys know that? Campbell said he donated $100 to the original Kickstarter campaign over a decade ago, which makes him a 0.038% owner of this statue. I'm here to see this big, beautiful bronze piece of art, he said. What a piece of cinematic history to represent the city of Detroit.
Yeah, I think it's great.
Detroit's come a long way, baby.
That's right. Give Robocop a cigarette for all the
I've
hard
never
work.
been. I'm kind of bummed that I wanted to see it back when it was like post-apocalyptic.
I did.
Bombed out hellscape.
It was definitely something. I mean, I spent time there in the downtown area at music venues, which it was not a great area. There was, I remember people like banging on the van windows and on the trailer and stuff like that. And I believe it was there was a bowling alley that was a venue there. There was a State Theater, I believe, and a beautiful MLB park with giant tiger statues out front.
Mm.
And now a Robocop
Now
statue.
Robocop's going to shoot the tiger.
That's right.
In the dick.
In the dick. Blow his dick right off. Anyways, finally today, so that I can embarrass myself, another Mr. President, another year-end list has dropped, and this time it's a list of the most mispronounced words of the year. If there were a trophy for butchering the English language, I would win it easily. In fact, a simple name in our most recent episode was giving me so much trouble I almost couldn't get through the segment. I'll play the clip in a second, but since Elliot is way better at pronouncing words, he's going to give you all the info on 2025's hardest words.
Oh, God.
From the best news outlet that I know of this week, Euronews.
Euronews. Where you
They got all the lists.
You have your news with the cigarettes and a bowl of heavy cream, 1/2 hour. The language learning company Babbel and closed captioning company The Captioning Group has released a list of the words that American news anchors, politicians, and other public figures struggled with the most this year. One of the top mangled names was that of Zoran Mamdani, New York City's incoming mayor. Babbel said his name, which should be pronounced Zoran Mamdani, was most commonly mispronounced when people swapped the M and N in his last name. Another common mispronunciation this year came following the thefts of France's crown jewels from the Louvre Museum in October. The headline-grabbing event had many people mispronouncing the name of the world's most visited museum, with Babbel reminding everyone that the correct pronunciation is Louvre, with a very soft pronunciation on the R. Other words and names on this year's list include acetaminophen, the active ingredient in Tylenol, correctly pronounced acetaminophen.
Acetaminophen. I think I said it right.
Yeah, sure. Which Donald Trump mispronounced as he implored pregnant women to avoid taking the painkiller despite no evidence to any links with autism.
Remember how that happened? And then now that's just, I believe they went back on it. That was just a thing that happened. They were like, by the way, Tylenol will
Well,
give
we
you
cured
autism.
autism. No one's ever...
See you later.
Autism's over. They're on to the next one. Mounjaro. Oh, pronounced Mounjaro? I don't even know what that is. It's a wave, part of a wave of diabetes and obesity medications that soared in popularity among those wishing to lose weight the quick way. Oh God. Storm. I'll do my version. Storm Aowen. Oh, Aowen.
Yeah, okay.
So it's Aowen, not Airwin, which battered Ireland, Northern Ireland, and Scotland in January. La Boo Boo. Okay, yeah. La Boo Boo, not La Bubba. I don't even know what they think the false pronunciation is. The cult collectible toy that drove everyone into a collective frenzy this year. And apparently Alexander Skarsgård. It's pronounced Skarsgård.
Uh-oh.
I've never heard it pronounced that way.
Anyways.
Skarsgård?
Sure.
I think he's fine with it. We've all been saying it the wrong way for too long.
Yeah.
I mean, his dad's been an actor for decades, and I don't think he's ever corrected anyone about it.
It's like when I had to interview Rafe Fiennes, and I was like, where's Ralph at? Hey, I got a Ralph here on the schedule.
Yeah.
Who am I talking to?
Yeah, that one's real. That one's a trick. He's trying to pull a trick on us.
All right, well, here I am trying to say the name of the guy that Trump recently pardoned. House Representative Henry Sweller of
Cuellar.
Cuellar?
Yes.
Okay. House Representative Henry Kalar of
Cuellar.
Cuellar?
Yes.
Henry Cuellar?
Cuellar.
Cuellar.
Yes.
Like Treyarch. Sure.
If whatever gets you through it.
C2 conspiring with Kalar.
Cuellar.
Trump just preemptively pardoned Henry Cuellar of... did I say it right?
Yes.
Oh,
God damn it.
Trump just preemptively pardoned Henry Cuellar of...
Cuellar. You said it right before. Jesus fucking Christ.
Trump just preemptively pardoned Henry Cuellar of all the crimes he's accused of. Oh, there you go. Cuellar.
You said it like 5 different ways. All wrong.
Cuellar, right?
Yeah, Cuellar.
Mm-hmm.
It does have... It's got
Cellular.
Cuellar has like... It has multiple Spanish idiosyncrasies that people often get wrong.
That's right. You're welcome.
So, yeah.
Anyways, finally today, the 2026 election cycle is already gearing up to be a gigantic shit show, and nothing exemplifies that more than none other than MyPillow CEO Mike Lindell. I'm throwing my cross and mustache into the ring. I'm going for it. I'm going to be the next governor of the great state of Minnesota. I won't even have to make any speeches because Jesse the Body Ventura has said everything that needs to be said in my exact accent.
Now Trump's going to have to acknowledge him because he's obsessed with Minnesota.
And yes, this is... It would be funny if he was doing this not to enrich himself financially, not to skirt any responsibility for the crimes that he's committed, but just to get back into Trump's good graces.
Just to make Trump remember that he exists.
He's got to be nice to me because I'm going to be running the whole state. And if he wants me to get those Somalians out, he's going to have to start, kissing my ring every once in a while.
Yeah.
He's need to start posting on Frank's Speech, the biggest social media platform this side of the Mississippi.
Which, okay, yeah.
Sure. Anyways, I got to assume that he's only doing this as the final, last-ditch effort to shield himself from steep criminal and financial
The final last-ditch
distress.
effort to spend all of his money on pointless endeavors.
He has so many legal issues, and he has to raise money somehow. This seems like a good way to do it. He's going to get the morons in the Republican Party to pay off his many debts. And it looks like he's officially going to announce his candidacy in the coming days, but he's already filed the official paperwork needed to face off against other Republican candidates. And of course, the incumbent governor, the very well-liked Tim Walz.
No, he's very unpopular. He's the R-slur. He's a big R-slur, that Tim Walz. People hate him.
Mike Lindell should play this as Tim Walz drove away jobs from Minnesota because of his legal warfare that they went against me and I had to fire all of my workers from the pillow factory So technically, he drove all the business out of here.
All that lawfare.
It certainly wasn't me and my own actions that caused the downfall of my very successful pillow company.
Hey, Donald, I heard that new ballroom. How about a big pillow pit in the middle of the ballroom? You're going to need a lot of pillows for that. Not a lot of pillows. And I know just the guy. Me. I'm
Number's still the same, Mr. Trump.
I'm rotten with pillows.
In case you've been trying to call, I don't know. You get a lot of spam calls these days. You know how it is. Number is still the same. Give me a call. I'll get rid of all the Somalians for you. Here's local outlet, the Minnesota Star Tribune, with more on this.
MyPillow CEO Mike Lindell has filed paperwork to run for governor of Minnesota, creating a campaign committee that will allow him to raise money.
Yeah.
The Mike Lindell for Governor committee was registered with the state's Campaign Finance Board on Wednesday. In an interview Wednesday morning, Lindell told the Minnesota Star Tribune that his run for governor isn't 100% yet, but that he intends to announce his decision at a news conference next week. I am going to announce either way on December 11th, Lindell said. Lindell told the Star Tribune in October that he had polled hypothetical matchups against Walz and other Republicans running for governor. If there was someone to win, it would be me, Lindell said of the GOP field. Walz's campaign has appeared eager to run against Lindell.
Sure.
Blasting out fundraising emails in recent months about the Republicans' interest in the governor's race. Minnesota DFL Chair Richard Karlbaum said Wednesday that Lindell represents exactly what today's Republican Party has become: conspiratorial, extremist, and weird. Hey, he's an out-of-touch salesman running to turn Minnesota into his next failed business, Karlbaum said in a statement.
Ooh, nice. I like that Mike Lindell clearly paid researchers to do hypothetical polls against him and Tim Walz, and they were just like, all right,
You won.
hey, I got those poll numbers you wanted.
You
yeah,
crushed him.
You're the only person that can do it, sir.
Yep.
In fact, we could add a couple points onto this poll if you give us some more money.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
There you go.
I'm the biggest rube that was ever born.
Yeah.
It's in fact, it's a miracle that I made it as far as I did. Anyways,
Best
good
of
luck
luck
to the
to
people
him.
of the state of Minnesota and to Mike Lindell. All I can say is it's going to be wonderful seeing him and Donald Trump team up once again.
Yeah, real.
Because if you thought
Pete.
Pete Hegseth shoving that admiral into the spotlight was bad, wait till you see what Trump does to Lindell. Yeesh. Woo. Anyways, that's it for News Dump. We have another episode coming up for you, and it's going to be all weird news for you. But in the meantime, leave a comment, press the like button. This video is not sponsored, so if you want to join, that would be a wonderful Christmas gift. And of course, watch our most recent videos. They're popping up here on the screen for you. Check them out. We'll be back for some weird news. We'll see you. So wait, hold on. Luca. Someone in the comments was like, we haven't seen Luca in a while. Come on, boy.
Hey, big boy.
You
Come
see,
here.
if you didn't wait until the absolute last second of the video and watch the entire thing and like it and leave a comment, you wouldn't see Luca.
Get on the camera.
Oh, there's the big boy.
He's got-
There's the big boy.
Oh.
Don't look at his pee-pee. I'll fix the camera angle. Anyways,
You gotta blur that.
good boy. Here you go, good boy. All right, that's it for the episode. Now the videos are up there. We will see you soon for Weird News. Bye.